All right. Welcome back to another episode of This Episode is About. And this episode is about motherfucking Mandalorian Season 2. I got some guests with me here. I got Dijon, Mr. Mustard. I got the illustrious Stu Wilson, Mr. Grown Main Products himself.
Yes, sir.
And don't have a business, don't have a podcast guy, Hayden. He's just a motherfucker that like talking about Star Wars. So I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and kick it off. Who want to start off with whatever they want to start off with on this last episode?
Oh, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, where are we starting? Are we starting like whole season 2, or are we starting just this last episode?
We gotta talk about this last episode first. That is first on the docket.
Well, off top, I just wanted, two things I wanted to talk about is first the CGI Luke. Because off top, I was thinking I would have preferred to just see old man, freshly shaven Mark Hamill. Right. Instead of that horrible video game looking, even though video game is an insult because video games look amazing. That wasn't even modern video game day level. That was like 3 game level.
Bruh, I was just like, crazy. Why didn't we just get Sebastian Stan? Like, just
in my opinion, it didn't even have to be.
You got him.
Sebastian Stan. It could have been literally any other person who looks similar enough to the way Mark Hamill used to look.
Like, exactly. Like, I saw the green lightsaber. I saw the glove. I know who this is.
And here's another thing. They could have not showed his face. They could have showed him pull the hood down and just showed the back of his head.
And he could talk.
And he could have just talked. And every time
we all know his voice.
Back of his head. We would know. But that CGI, it was just like, because I'm pretty sure they knew they weren't going to have enough time or enough money to make it look like, something like Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One. They knew they weren't going to have enough time or money to do that, so they should have just not done it at all.
Right.
I feel like it's going to be a situation where they slowly upgrade it.
Bro, shoot, deepfakes look better than what they did.
Right. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, like it looked like a bad deep fake. Like, I mean, I'm not such a big Star Wars nerd that I'm going to sit there and trash it. Like, I guess I see what they was trying to do, so I give them an A for effort. But yeah, it did because like the mouth didn't even like sync up with the speech.
Right. Yeah, that's what I noticed at first because it was kind of all right in the beginning, but then as soon as he started talking, it was like nah.
It kept going, and then they kept cutting back to him.
They also zoomed in way too close.
Right. Yeah, hella close.
I feel like when they was far back and he like put his hands together and was like standing up, it would look fine.
Right. See, now this is some true Star Wars shit. We had to start negative talking about the episode. So nobody hates Star Wars like people who love Star Wars.
Yeah.
Bro, I got
really. No, go ahead.
You
I was gonna say like I really like the build up towards it though. Like the whole like since he got off the ship. As soon as that soundtrack came in, I knew something was gonna happen.
That played. I don't know if it was because I was thinking about Terminators when I was looking at the Dark Troopers, but there was a certain point in the song that sounded like the Terminator theme song.
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't use a little bit of inspiration from it.
Right. I mean, but that soundtrack for the Dark Troopers too was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was good. I feel like
reports, so they probably could sneak in some Terminator shit.
Bruh, that reference a couple episodes back, I was like, TPS. I was like, am I the only one who saw that? Who heard that? Like,
that came out of left field. I was like, hold on. I thought like was Gary Cole here somewhere or some shit? Like,
right? That would have been hilarious if he was just under a helmet somewhere. That's hilarious.
I low-key also felt like we didn't get enough of the Dark Troopers. I feel like one fought Din Djarin, and then after that they just got destroyed by Luke.
This is my thing about this show.
I did still like how they used them though.
This is my thing about the show and what Star Wars does in general. It pisses me off. Stop making cool ass shit that technically already happened. Stop doing that. Like,
it's true. They do that too.
Technically, these Dark Troopers have always been around, but we had 3 movies that take place past this. Didn't see a single one of them.
Yeah, that's the thing, because Dark Troopers weren't canon. They're trying to. That's the thing that what's his name? Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are doing that other people who have been working on Star Wars content haven't been doing, is they're bringing stuff in from all of the stuff that Kathleen Kennedy made, non-canon. They're bringing that into the main Star Wars universe that people.
That's what pisses me off, though, because it's like, why you let the TV guys like have a vision, do their thing, but you don't trust the movie guys to do anything, and now you end up with this TV universe being way better than the movies.
I think that with the movies, they trusted them to do too much and they messed up.
I think with the movies, they were like, you better not fucking go too new and do anything too special. You better make sure you bring it all back to the old shit or it's over for you. But then they got the TV show.
The second one was a bunch of new stuff.
Rian Johnson blew everything up they made in the first reboot movie.
But as soon as that happened, they pulled his ass back. They were like, nope, get out of here.
Yeah.
And then J.J. Abrams came in and tried to salvage it, but
he tried.
Yeah.
And he trashed it.
My biggest criticism of the Last Jedi is that Luke's character arc made no sense. Because hear me out. He basically almost killed his nephew because he sensed the dark side, and because of that, he decided to exile himself because he felt like he failed his nephew. Which
could have been a dope story.
Yeah, it could have been, but it doesn't make sense because he saved his father, who was like one of the most evil people to exist in the galaxy, who murdered millions of people. He purposely went after to save his father multiple times, and then eventually he actually did bring his father back to the light side. But he himself also almost went to the dark side at one point. So I feel like it makes no sense that Luke would have tried to kill Ben when he saw the dark side, because he went through it himself and he's already dealt with people who have been on the dark side and had helped bring them back. So I feel like he wouldn't have tried to kill Ben. He would have tried to, sit him down, and not even sit him down, but just through his teachings, bring him back from the dark side, even though he wasn't on the dark side yet. He was just kind of like Luke was, he almost went to the dark side. But of course,
it was sloppy.
Pushed him to the dark side.
It's sloppy. Shit's sloppy. And that's what Star Wars does. They do shit sloppy, and then it's going to be up to other people who are working in the middle to make up for it and make this shit make sense.
Yeah, that's kind of what the Clone Wars cartoon was. It made make sense. The Clone Wars cartoons makes the prequels make so much more sense. Like, Anakin was a whiny, annoying brat the entirety of his existence. But the Clone Wars cartoon actually makes him a redeemable character. You actually see why certain characters would like him, like why Padme would even remotely be attracted to him, because he's actually a good guy. He's shown as a hero who always does the right thing. In the Clone Wars cartoon, he became my second favorite Star Wars character because of that cartoon. Before that, I didn't really care for him that much, outside of him being Darth Vader.
All right, speaking of that, let's really back to main topic. So, goddamn, I was sold this season on the fact that, like, Ahsoka's gonna be in season 2.
That's what brought me to it. Like, really,
where was she at?
Huh?
What?
Where was she at? 1 episode, bruh?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not her show.
I mean,
it's not her show, but don't sell me on the whole second season. Like, guess who finally gonna come?
Yeah, but those weren't like official advertisements from Disney and Star Wars. Those were from rumors. You did that to yourself. They never said she was gonna be a main character. It was just rumored that she would be there, and then of course.
No, they said she's gonna be in season 2. And they knew she's in season 2, Dave Filoni's involvement. They knew what you would think. They knew where that would take your brain.
It was also set up for her own show, which she's getting. This isn't her show. Her show is going to be her show.
They set up more for Boba Fett than they set up for her.
No, that's definitely set up for her because the whole point of that, she was going after what's his name, Thrawn. That's what they set up. Her show is going to be about her going after Thrawn.
But they didn't. If you don't know who Ahsoka is and who Thrawn is, there's nothing set up there.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's completely different between her and Boba. Boba is in like main Star Wars content. He's in the prequels. He's in the original trilogy. Ahsoka is
exactly. Everybody already knows him. Even the casuals know him. So you should have spent a little bit more time on her, getting the casuals to understand who she is and what she's all about.
Yeah, but if
we already know who Boba Fett is, we already know.
You have Disney Plus, so once you see her in this show, and if you're interested in her, you'll probably go back and watch some of the episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels that feature her prominently.
You telling me those filthy casual people who only barely even watch the movies are gonna go back?
If you're a casual person, you'll just wait for the Ahsoka TV show to figure stuff.
If you're a casual person, you don't even think she's gonna get a show. You think, oh, okay, that was cool. She was in this one episode.
Yeah, but once it pops up,
I like seeing Rosario Dawson. All right.
Once it pops up,
my homegirl just got put on to the Mandalorian, and she ran through it in like 2 days, both seasons. And then she liked the Ahsoka character. And I was telling her last night, I was like, well, she's from the the Clone Wars movie and the TV show, so you might want to check it out. So I don't know if she is, but I think she probably is gonna like go back and watch it. Because I mean, Clone Wars, let's be honest, that's not really a kid's show. Like I watched the first season when it first came out fervently.
It started that way.
And then I kind of fell off, and now I'm getting back into it. And now I'm on season 3, and I'm watching. I'm like, this is a kid show. They kill a lot of people in this motherfucker. So,
because I heard it started off as a kid show, and then there was like, fuck them kids.
The first season is super kiddish, and you can see how it starts off as a kid show. But once you get past once you get into the third season, that's when it really starts to go. It's not really that much of a kid show anymore.
It's not,
because they were like, oh, we could tell proper Star Wars stories still. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so people might actually go back and watch it. But yeah, you're right though, because like the moment I heard, I think I was watching some YouTube show and they was talking about Ahsoka's coming. I liked the show because I liked her. I guess I was reading about like a lot of people didn't like her when she first came out. I liked her. She was fine to me. People found her annoying, but I liked her. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with her and her show and stuff like that.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna stop bashing. I'm gonna put out my love for this episode because, goddamn, once I saw that green saber, it was I was on my feet.
I was too, man. I was like, wait, there's only one green saber, well, 2 that I've seen, but I was like, let me wait. I saw the glove and I was like, nah, it can't be. It can't be.
Dude. You knew it was.
Yeah, I knew it was. I was just like, man, I was not expecting it. Shit. Yeah. But that always, like, the whole build up towards when he like got to him, it reminded me of the Darth Vader scene from Rogue One.
Yeah,
I think that's what they wanted. They wanted to mirror it.
Because his return in The Last Jedi was disappointing. I don't think I've ever been excited to see Luke until then. Because when you're watching the original 3 movies, especially me, because I watched them when I was super young, and the movies had been out for like 20 years at that point. Luke's going to be in the movie, so you're not like excited to see him because he's the main character throughout the entire time. This was my first time being excited and surprised to see Luke. I've never felt that way about Luke because I've only been able, because I don't read the comics or I don't read the books that often, and I don't read the comics at all. I've never been excited and surprised to see Luke.
I felt that way, and I feel like they did a lot of other things very obviously, so you would be misdirected for the Luke thing. Like, they set up a lot of stuff, obviously. They set up Boba Fett, obviously. He's going to be coming back, and he's going to help him. They set up, like, obviously he's going to meet all these other characters, and he's going to come and bring them back later. They set all that obvious stuff up, so when Luke pops up, it's like, oh, shit, I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, it was crazy because people were like, it made the most sense for Luke to be the one to come. And, when I was about to say Yoda, Grogu was on the Seeing Stone, that he would connect with Luke. But everybody was like, I feel like that's, too obvious. And everybody was like, it's probably not going to be Luke. It's probably going to be Cal Kestis from Fallen Order, or Ezra from...
A lot of people were thinking it was going to be Ezra.
Yeah, it would have been cool if it was Ezra, but it was even cooler that it was Luke because, like you said, we haven't seen Luke be a cool Jedi Master outside of, the end of the Last Jedi, which
End of the Last Jedi, and a little bit in the beginning of Return, like
in the beginning.
But he's like, look, Jabba, like motherfucker, look here.
Yeah. And
I am a Jedi, like my father before me. Stop fucking with me, please.
Yeah, he always is cool in black, especially in contrast with the green lightsaber.
He should always be in black. I don't give a fuck. He should always be in black.
I was upset when I saw him in gray in the Last Jedi. I was like, he needs to wear black all the time.
So for a quick second, because I know this has been like little utterance and stuff like that on the internet, I kind of thought maybe it would have been like Mace Windu, because there's like rumors that he's still alive, and they're supposed to make like a Mace Windu show.
I want him to be
alive. Michael B. Jordan being the young Mace Windu, but that's Hollywood shit, so who knows? Yeah. But I was thinking like, man, I wonder if it's Mace Windu for a second, because I don't know.
Well, if they would have had that purple lightsaber, boy, it would have been undeniable. Man, it'd been like, oh, purple.
Dope.
Yeah. Yeah, because with Boba coming back, like, Mace Windu coming back kind of made sense because it could have kind of tied in with Boba's storyline because he killed his father and Boba has a thing against Jango in the clone. Actually, you say you're only on season 3. I don't want to spoil nothing, but yeah. So he has a thing with against Boba. So because I kind of want Mace Windu to still be alive because he only got thrown out a window. We ain't see him die.
I mean, if Disney is smart, they'll make sure he's alive because
if he pops up in that Boba show, that would be fire.
That would be smart.
Yeah. By the way, where the fuck did Boba go after the whole, after they were already on the ship?
Oh, he did because he did his job.
Yeah, because he said as long until he's back into your until he's safe with you or whatever, I'm in your debt. So he got him Grogu back. He's like, yep, that's my debt. I fulfilled my end of the bargain. Who you let him go off with? That's on you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, he looks like he's taking over, Jabba's former. He went to Jabba's palace and took it over. So I don't know. Maybe he's trying to take over the underworld or something like that.
Right, in that last post-credit scene, I kind of was expecting, but not really, because I saw it was like 7 minutes that was still left over. So I just like scrolled a little bit and then I saw it.
Yeah, I didn't even notice because I always sit through the credits. So once it happened, I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
It made me feel like once I saw him sit on that throne, it made me feel like when they did that, when they had Maul at the end of Solo. Like it just felt very similar.
I thought of that too. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah.
Maul at the end of Solo. I couldn't tell you how many times I rewound that scene just to hear. I can't even remember his name right now. I'm so mad. But just to hear his voice as Darth Maul, it was great.
Darth Maul at the end of Solo and Donald Glover are the best parts of Solo.
Yeah.
You're right. I couldn't even get through that movie. Like it didn't make. I tried watching that movie like I don't know how many times, and I couldn't do it. Like I watched up until Donald Glover came out, and they had a little card game, and that was it.
I liked it. I thought the movie was good.
Yeah, kind of same here.
And aren't they doing that show?
Yeah, they're doing a Lando show. And
Lando?
It hasn't been confirmed if it's going to be Donald Glover or
no, I heard it's a mistake if you don't get it. It's a mistake.
Yeah, I wanted to be Donald Glover so bad.
It got to be because he embodied that character. Like,
he's young and he could lead a franchise.
And plus, if he's involved, he's going to write some of it. And please let that nigga write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my thing. This is my thing with this whole show. I enjoy it. I really like the show, but it hurts to know that Grogu ultimately doesn't matter because what's going to happen to him? Because Luke obviously ends up alone. So what happens?
Yeah, right. We don't know what happens with Grogu because in the Last Jedi, they say that the temple got destroyed when Ben came back. So was Grogu there or did he escape? We don't know.
Right. That's infuriating. And that's why I say I hate when they do all this new stuff in past continuity. Like
Except that, with the Clone Wars, they managed to, it's a whole universe. They managed to add so much extra stuff into the Clone Wars that managed to kind of leak out into its own thing and like survive without messing up the timeline. That I feel like they could do something with Grogu that keeps him alive, or something along those lines.
Like, you gotta have Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. Like, that's like the whole reason why my friend watched it was because of Baby Yoda. So it's like they're gonna do some kind of little roundabout stuff where he ends up back there, and that's gonna be the show. It's because like
that's
their marketing. Like, right,
no, I don't think so.
You know how much money they made off of Baby Yoda toys? That's the whole reason of the show.
And I kind of felt that way this season too, because like in the first season, their bond wasn't like how they're acting like it is in this season. Like, I feel like they used what the internet did with him and the Mandalorian. It's like, oh, okay, he's like a dad to you guys. All right, we'll make sure he seems like a dad in this season, because he didn't really feel like that in the first season. They just kind of clung on to the internet and was like, yeah, let's take that idea.
No, I feel like that was him growing as a character. He slowly did come to like care about Grogu. And he was willing to do things like take his mask off several times.
Man, I almost teared up at that scene, bro. I was like, damn, you gonna let him go like that?
Yeah. And I feel like Grogu isn't like always gonna be around. I think because it's called The Mandalorian, so when other Mandalorians pop up, it makes sense. And I feel like having a show called The Mandalorian and then for them to never go to the planet Mandalore would be crazy. And that seems like that's endgame, not endgame, but part of the next season is gonna be him with Bo-Katan going to like reclaim Mandalore.
Oh, that's why they were like, oh, let's make sure he meets a bunch of characters throughout this season, so especially we can have because this is what they're doing. It's a Western, obviously. Mm-hmm. They're like, let's build up his Magnificent Seven. Like that's what they're trying to do. Like he's gonna get all these people who have all these skills, and then next season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if when they go back to Mandalore, that they bring Ahsoka with them again, because she was on Mandalore before with that big war. So yeah,
definitely, she's coming. Bo-Katan's coming. Whoever they have him meet in the next season is coming. They're gonna fucking bring back whoever Timothy Oliphant's character was. They're gonna bring him back because they set it up for a reason.
Yeah. Where is it? The moment he came up to I knew Timothy Oliphant was gonna be in the show. I didn't know as who. So when he came to the door and he spoke, I was like, that's Timothy Oliphant. I heard his voice, like, that's Timothy Oliphant.
Yo, you heard his voice, and then they didn't even really let him walk, because if he would have started walking, you'd have known it was him too, because he has a very signature walk. He's like, they just like make sure he just takes the helmet off immediately, because ain't no suspense.
Yeah, it was no suspense. I was like, that's him.
Yeah.
No, I forgot. I was about to say something. I can't remember.
And that whole Darksaber thing with Mando is pretty cool too, because I had seen something on the internet. I had seen somebody on the internet put like I think it was maybe a GTA mod or some type of mod on the game where he had the Darksaber. So I kind of made that connection where he was gonna get it, but I just wasn't too sure how they would do it. But
I'm gonna tell you right now, Giancarlo Esposito is the dopest motherfucker on this planet. Yeah, he has been involved in almost everything great television wise. Like he just doesn't fuck around. I don't know how he's been dope since like the year I was born. Like, he's been dope for 33 years, crushing it. Yeah. It's crazy. Like he was just crushing it. The Boys earlier this year. What was that?
No, I was just saying, when I was watching the action scene, I was trying to see, is he doing this whole thing like himself? Like I was like watching the cuts, I was like, I can't tell. It was John if he was doing it himself the whole time.
I don't think he did it himself the whole time. If you watch it a little closer, you could kind of see like some face replacement, like they put it on another guy's body. But that shit was
man, y'all see his face when he realized it was a Jedi coming in. He got scared.
Oh, he shit his pants. I was like, oh, he just shit space pants. That's just happened.
They also never revealed what he did with the blood. I'm just remembering.
Right. That's what I'm going to say.
That's another thing that can come back. They never revealed what he did with the blood.
Yeah.
He just said that he took it. That's all. He didn't say what he did with it.
Because it's either on that ship or the one they hijacked to get the what's it dude, the doctor from?
Yeah. Or neither. They could have shipped it off somewhere else.
And they didn't kill him either, so he can be back.
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
Also, Bill Burr is a surprisingly good actor.
Oh man, dude, I'm never surprised when like stand-up comics are good. I'm never surprised.
He was great. He was fantastic. And that scene when they were at the table and he was talking about
you knew what he was gonna do, but you just wanted to see it. You just wait. Like, let me sit back and watch him act this shit out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's gonna shoot this nigga. Like he is gonna shoot his ass, but you want to see it build. And the guy who they had play him, that smarmy looking motherfucker, he was perfect to get shot.
His accent was perfect too. That accent he had, it made him sound even more
when they like infused like the American accents in there, like he's from like a Southern general or something.
Yeah.
And then got Bill from some kind of Boston part of this space.
Space Boston.
Yeah.
You said space Boston.
It'd be hilarious if it was a planet just called Boston.
He does not.
Whole bunch of aggro ginger white guys. Oh my god. Oh, when this episode started, when she shot that motherfucker in his face. That was one of the most satisfying things I'd ever seen.
That was coming.
I was like, he's talking real big shit. He's like, we destroyed your planet. I was like, first of all, it was only like 8 people in that room when Alderaan got destroyed. Like, bro, so you probably didn't even actually see it. You were probably in the bathroom somewhere. You were probably on duty. Like, don't act tough.
You know what was funny when that Asian dude who was one of the X-wing pilots was talking to Kara, and he was trying to get her to become a sheriff or whatever, a marshal, I think, and he said you're from Alderaan, right? And she was like, yeah. He's like, did you lose anyone? And I was like, what do you mean did she lose anyone? The planet got blown up. She lost everybody.
She's like, you know what? Me and my entire extended family, we were all on off-planet vacation at the right time. So you know what? Nope, just lost the planet. Didn't lose my people. Like, bruh, of course. Like, what type of dumbass question?
Lost it. Even if her family was off planet, she lost friends. Like, of course, she lost at least someone. It was a whole planet.
So what?
So that is a
dumb question. Like, I'd have slapped her. I would have slapped you. Like, no, I didn't lose nobody.
Oh yeah,
I was a complete loner on that whole planet. I never knew anybody. Fuck out of here, bro.
After seeing how cool Luke was, I really want a show with Sebastian playing Luke, where he goes throughout the galaxy, like trying to rebuild the Jedi Order and rebuild the Republic. I want
to see it.
I feel like they could do what they did for Anakin and make him even cooler than he already was.
Is that a thing? Everybody says that Sebastian Stan looks like Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
bro. If you look at it side by side, he looks like young Mark Hamill. It's disturbing.
I haven't thought about it, so I might check it out then.
Like, if he has it, all you gotta do is put that dumbass bowl cut on him. He look just alike. They look just alike. It's crazy. I don't know. I like that. It almost messed up the moment when he took it off and it was the fucking CGI. Because I was like, why just get an actor? Ain't nothing wrong with having actors, man. We know who he's playing.
Exactly. Mark Hamill was already doing voiceover, so he could have just kept doing. He could have still, did the voice like he was already doing.
Yeah, because we all have grown up on Mark Hamill's voice. Like,
yeah, he's a great voice actor. He clearly, he literally turned his voice back to the way it sounded when he was younger.
That's true. Well, I mean, you can't please Star Trek fans and Star Wars fans. They would have got somebody young, somebody else complaining about that. So, it is what it is. Just got to live with that little wink they gave at us and keep it pushing. I guess because even with that big ass budget that they have, it's still a TV show. So I guess they're going to do so much.
All right. But you kind of like at first you don't notice, but then like Mustard said, when they do the close up, it's like just keep it back, man. Just keep that shot back. It was good as it is.
If you notice, that's why they didn't have him smile, because when like the CGI smiles happen, that never looks right.
He did do a little smirk when Grogu walked up to him.
Yeah, if he would have showed teeth, that shit would have looked weird. Like
I couldn't tell if R2 was CG or if it was actual robot.
It looked real. Like it was actual.
I would think so.
But that's the good thing with when you're like doing textures, even if it's CG, like you can rate that video.
The Dark Troopers fight took up that whole budget. That's why Luke looked like that.
Bro, that fight with the Dark Troopers, that was outrageous.
If we talk about good CGI, those Dark Troopers looked really good. They looked
when you open that fucking the fucking doors.
That shit was terrifying. I was like
Terminator. I didn't realize how many there were. The first time I watched it, when they all got sucked out, I didn't realize how many were in there. So when they all flew back in, I was like, "What? I didn't know it was that many." And then I thought,
my bad. Go ahead.
I was just saying, when I watched it the second time, like 10 minutes before we started recording, I saw how many Dark Troopers there were when he looked through the door the first time.
Yeah, that line was all the way back. Shit was real. He would have got
they had 20. I thought they said they had 20. So when he took out one, I was like, all right, you got 19. But when they showed the little they're all coming back in, I was like, that's not 19. That's like a whole ass room.
When Luke was fighting them, I was like, he's fighting a lot of Dark Troopers. How many are there?
Yeah.
Bro, and what the fuck were they made out of?
It was not. At first I thought they were made out of Beskar, but but it's not, because if it was Beskar, the lightsaber wouldn't have went through it that easily.
Right.
So it was something. It was another strong metal that could repel blaster bolts, but not lightsaber.
That blaster wasn't doing shit.
And that's what just like when they were all like ready to fire on him, like, dude, you saw that your shit didn't do shit. So what was y'all gonna do? Like he got his stab. You better just get to stabbing, bro.
Like you gotta actually use something blood.
Yeah. I feel like they didn't. I feel like they could have had. It would have been cool if Mando gave the spear to Bo and he used the Darksaber, and they held off they held them off for a little bit before they realized they was going to get fucked. So they went back in the room, locked the door, and then Luke came, because I wanted to see him use it a little bit, use the lightsaber.
They are playing with that Darksaber. Like they like, look, we gonna keep showing it, but ain't nobody gonna use it. Like, and then the one fight they use it in, they use it on someone who's wearing Beskar. Like, you might as well be hitting them with a wooden stick at that point, because it ain't gonna do nothing.
And you knew they were gonna fight whenever she set it up saying, it can't cut through Beskar. So it's like he's not gonna
that's gonna be a fight later.
The moment he got the spear, they were gonna fight.
Right.
Because after you saw Ahsoka fight somebody with her lightsabers, they were using a spear. You were like, okay, that means him and Moff Gideon are about to fight.
Bro, this whole season felt like a fucking video game progression. It's wild. Like he's picking up his equipment, his people. Like what is happening?
The first episode was literally like I never played the game, but people say the Krayt Dragon was in Knights of the Old Republic, and it felt like a side quest from that game going to fight the Krayt Dragon, except this Krayt Dragon looked different,
crazy,
and it was bigger. But yeah, that Krayt Dragon was wild. Actually, let's talk about that episode.
Bruh, I rewatched that whole fucking episode.
I think I've seen that episode twice. Yeah,
I watched it like probably 2 or 3 times. But my favorite part though is when they brought out the whatever animal that was, like, to feed it, and he ended up eating one of the actual people. So I was dying every time I watched that. He was like, "Nah, fuck that. I don't want that. I want y'all."
He's like, we need a. He's like, they are open to other ideas. So that shit not work out.
He came through just to eat that dude too. That was funny as hell.
So I feel like they kept changing the size of the Krayt Dragon, because when it first came through the town and ate the bantha, it looked big, but not that big. But then when it came and ate that one dude and it came out the mountain, I was like, it looks way bigger than you showed
like
at the beginning.
The first time we see it, and then they go through their little like motto. He was like, that motto don't make sense. And I was like, yeah, that motto doesn't make sense.
That's what I was
from
saying.
what we saw.
Right. I was like, he's right. That motto doesn't make sense because it's not that big. And they were like, nope, it makes sense. And then they showed us later. They showed us later. It made sense. But yeah, I think because they can make a great video game based off of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Show. Just a bounty hunter. They had 2 bounty hunter Star Wars games planned before Disney, but Star Wars and got rid of LucasArts, which was their video game studio. So all of the games they had planned were shut down. They had a Darth Maul game planned. They had a Star Wars game made by the people who made Uncharted planned, and they had a bounty hunter Star Wars game planned where you played as a Mandalorian.
See, and I think don't nothing ever go to waste, and they just like, let's take some of these ideas and just move that shit over to these TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's what they did.
And I'm mad at it.
Mandalorian, I forget where I heard this. I need to look more into it, but I think that Mandalorian was actually built off of that video game, that bounty hunter video game that they was working on.
Makes sense.
It's crazy because they gave, I think it was 10 years. They gave EA a 10-year rights to making Star Wars video games. Literally the year after they had won an award for worst company in America for 2 years straight. And for some reason, Disney thought, those are the people who should have exclusive rights to making Star Wars video games for 10 years straight.
Bro, this is America. You fail upwards. What you talking about?
Crazy.
Shit, wow.
Real talk.
But look, dope ass season. I think I enjoyed it better than the first season just because it ended on a more exciting note. Like, it left me like pumped. I was like, look, I don't give a fuck what season 3 is about. I'm watching that shit.
Yeah, I think it was like a good like step forward, just because like I think they really went for it this season, like with the action and the violence, and like I like story progression as much as next guy, but I mean hell, I like to see the shit. So, and it seemed like he was more ruthless this season while being more caring for Baby Yoda. I know his name was Grogu, but I keep calling him Baby Yoda. But yeah. But
I think that's why they did it. Like, if he can be more sweet, that means whatever he does to the people that don't matter will get accepted, and people will be like, "Hey, he did it. He did it for the kid. He had to."
In the first episode of the show, he cut somebody in half with a door.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck it.
That spider episode was obviously very reminiscent of Aliens at first when you saw those eggs. The moment I saw those eggs, I was like, it's like some spidery creature in there that looks like the face hugger, because there's no way you have all those eggs and it's not something like that in there. Lo and behold, a whole bunch of spiders came out and chased them back to the ship.
Yep.
Which is, I love little stuff like that when they can like have little homages and stuff like that. Love it. Love it.
I would love a horror type show that's like set in the Star Wars universe, because there's got to be a bunch of weird creatures that they could use for a horror show in that world.
But who would you center that around?
I mean, honestly, it could be any random character in that universe. It doesn't have to be. It could be a brand new character. It doesn't even have to be a character we know.
A Star Wars Exterminator show.
That's not how they do it. I mean, they don't start with nothing new.
I mean, that's what the Mandalorian was. Din Djarin didn't exist before. Granted, he was based off of the Mandalorians, which existed before, and people love him.
Exactly. But it was based off like, hey, how can we get that image? And then let's make sure it takes place on places that we know and love and have seen 1,000 times.
Yeah, they could start off with the character we know, but that isn't like that big of a character, and then kill him off immediately. And then you follow.
You thought this was just about not what it's about. It's about the adventure. It's about the horror.
Like one of the like Jedi Masters from like one of those like the weird looking ones, or like the ones that they have like Jedi Masters that breathe underwater and shit like that. So
yeah,
that'd be a good place to start.
I wouldn't mind it.
They're gonna have
yeah, they're gonna have a shitload of like a whole list of shows that they're coming out with, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, one.
Which it's like, goddamn.
Yeah, one that I'm really interested in is called Visions, and it's gonna be 10 short films made by 10 different animation studios.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm really excited for that one because I'm hoping that Shinichiro Watanabe, the dude who made Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, has an episode.
Ooh.
It would be so good.
Ooh. I'm excited when they decide to do new shit. I hate when they just do like, oh, let's do same old. Let's do something new. Don't be scared. It's Star Wars. You gonna get the eyeballs. People gonna come watch it. Let somebody do something new.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Because I have a friend, the friend that I who's my co-host on the Mustard Cast. He's very like conservative with a lot of his views when it comes to comic books and Star Wars. And I'm like, bro, this stuff has been around for decades. It's okay for it to change. It doesn't have to be the exact same all the time, especially with something like this that's been around for so long and it's so popular. It's literally like the biggest franchise in the world. You can do whatever you want with it, especially since all of that legend stuff is non-canon. You can pull different pieces from it, just like Jon Favreau has been doing, and do whatever you want with those different pieces. Like
just pull what works.
Yeah, the Old Republic. I want that within the canon so bad because they allude to it now and again, but they never like confirm a lot of it. And the reason I love that time period in the Star Wars universe is because it was a time period when the amount of Sith equaled the amount of Jedi. And I want a story that focuses around Sith, which we don't get that often. We had a few episodes of the cartoons that focus on Sith now and again, but we've never had an entire series where like there's like hundreds of Sith that exist and you have a story that follows different ones of them. Excuse me. I can't speak.
And I think that's what they're saving for the next set of movies.
That would be dope.
Because like, first of all, you don't want to give that no like rinky dink budget. Like you want a real budget. But like do it because one, it'll feel new at the same time while not being new. Because so many people don't know shit about KOTOR. Like they're like, Old Republic, what the fuck is that? Don't worry about it.
It's a lot of lore there, but like a lot of people don't know anything about it. Like there's things about it that I don't know, but I want to know. But I prefer to see it on the screen because I just prefer to consume Star Wars content through either video games, movies, or TV shows.
Yeah, it's like I like reading. I enjoy reading. I just show me.
Necessarily, Star Wars is the thing that I enjoy reading because it's such a beautiful and action-packed world that I prefer to see it get played out on the screen.
Exactly. And especially now that you have the technology to do shit.
Yeah.
Do it. What are we waiting for? Why are we sitting around waiting? Do this.
And that's what they are, because that's what they're doing. They're making just a bunch of stuff and throwing stuff on the wall and see what sticks.
Exactly. I just wish they could get the movies right.
It looks like they're stepping away from the movies though. It looks like because like when they unveiled all the Marvel shows and now all the Star Wars shows, I don't think we're going to like a real movie franchise or part of that because even they're bringing back Rogue One to make a show around that. So I don't think it's going to be a movie for, especially because the whole movie thing going on right now, the movie wars. So I think they're gonna stick with TV shows for a while, and then we probably get a movie like in a couple of years.
Yeah, those lists of all the shows they got, we are going to be entertained. We're going to be overwhelmed with entertainment for the next like 5 years. We're going to be overwhelmed.
It's crazy because it's like 10, 15 shows.
Yeah, as I look at it, I'm like, I don't even know if some of them like, I don't know if I want to watch it, but at the same time, and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it because I feel like there's just not enough time in the day to watch all of this stuff. It's so much.
Like it's too much content. Like I'm not, I got stuff to do. Disney, like, come on now.
I think the next focus is going to be the Obi-Wan show.
Oh yeah.
I'm not as excited about that as I feel like I should be.
I feel like what I'm most excited about is Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader, and I'm not sure if that means that I'm really bad with names. What's the dude that voices Darth Vader?
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, James Earl Jones. Yeah, James Earl Jones. If you watch my podcast, I forget names every time.
Got another lazy in here.
I forget names. Oh, don't do that. I watch stuff.
He said, "Oh, don't do that." He's like, "I watch stuff. I just don't remember names."
Yeah, I just don't remember names very well. But I don't know if it's gonna be him voicing Darth Vader or Hayden Christensen. But I think maybe they'll do like whenever he's out of the suit, Hayden Christensen voices him, and when he's in the suit, it'll be James Earl Jones.
Probably. I mean, and look,
how they gonna do that? Like how they gonna like balance that? Because what? As he chopped them up on that fire planet, and then they started building the Death Star. Like Obi-Wan, you don't really know. I guess he went into hiding. So what are they gonna do? Like they had encounters throughout that whole time between the third.
They're supposedly gonna have one encounter.
And this is what I'm saying. Why they keep fucking doing this? They keep doing dope shit that took place in the past. Like yes, I get it. I understand. Like the movies were written in a certain order, so like you didn't think that you'd be able to go back and do a TV show. But he says the last time we met, I was but a learner. Like that's the last time, but it's not going to be true now. It's not.
That's how they shoehorn shit in there to make whatever they want to do to make money, make sense. So it is what it is. It's kind of you guys kind of forget that happened and go on with it so you can enjoy it.
Yeah, that's why I kind of want them to go into the past that's so far back that damn near no matter what they do, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't affect the future. That's what the Old Republic really would be. The only thing that has to happen in the Old Republic is that like majority of them needs to die. The Sith specifically.
Exactly.
That's the only thing that needs to happen. But I just like I said, I love seeing the Sith's point of view. And also the Old Republic isn't as black and white as a lot of the original movies were. That's
what I was gonna say. You can explore the gray area.
It's very gray. Nobody's really black and white in that time period.
And I love it. And that's why I want to see. And that's why I love Rogue One so much. Because it's
I'm glad you said that.
These are wars. Like war gets nasty on both sides.
Yo, because out of everything, like Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie. Out of all of them, that's my favorite Star Wars movie. And I thought but it's funny, but it came, but it's built upon this whole big old franchise. But that's my favorite Star Wars movie. That's one of my favorite movies, period. It's just so dope how they did it.
Yeah, one of the best Darth Vader scenes ever.
One of the best Darth Vader scenes. That's one of the best versions of like going back and telling a story within the universe and just like everything fitting together the right way and then doing something new. Like, bruh, the rebels got dirty. They got down.
Yeah.
Because they had to. Because it's like I like when they take the war part of Star Wars and focus on it. Like, this is what happened in wars. Innocent people get hurt. The people who you think are the good guys don't always feel like the good guys. Love that shit. Because that's why I say I love when Star Wars gets real.
I feel like they try to do it, and they definitely tried to do it with the sequels, but to focus on the stormtroopers and like their mindset and like what they're going through. I don't feel like they've done that enough. I feel like there's more they could do in that regard.
Which is what was disappointing about the last three movies. Because you open your trailer of your first new of the three one with a fucking stormtrooper with his helmet off.
Oh, I forgot.
That's where I thought this was gonna go. I was like, oh, this could be interesting.
They disrespected Finn.
How they did it was crazy.
Finn so bad. I can't believe
they were like, oh,
they disrespected him.
They turned him into a joke.
Yeah, he was supposed to be force sensitive and like trained. It would have been dope if he was trained alongside Rey. It would have been dope.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Cause I could have swore I saw a poster of him wearing Jedi robes. So I know it's out there. I know I didn't make that up. So I thought that's what they was gonna do. Like they was gonna like bring him along, and then they try to kind of like make him like naive, kind of like Han Solo or whatever. But then that was kind of like Poe, and so they shoehorned a lot of stuff in there, and it was like I like his character. I mean, I like his character. Honestly, I like his character the most in The Last Jedi. But yeah, they had a lot of missed opportunities with that. I think what it was, they was trying to do too much fan service.
And this is what I'm saying. This is why I fucking hate J.J. Abrams. I feel like he doesn't know what he's doing when he's trying to tell a story, because him and that mystery box bullshit and the way they decided to build the trailer, like they built you the trailer, they sold the trailer. It starts with him being like afraid or you don't know what's going on, and then that trailer ends with him with a fucking lightsaber in his hand. So I'm like, oh, how do we get from there to there? Because that's an interesting story.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that was not even the real story. It's not even about him. And they turned him, like the trailer sold him as Harry Potter, and then the movies turned him into fucking Ron Weasley. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
It's crazy how we like, and other people who like try to figure things out from trailers give the writers way more credit than they deserve, and then we watch the movie and everything we put together, like we'll build like the best narrative ever based off of the breadcrumbs that they leave, just to be so disappointed because they don't follow the obvious setups that they make. Like Finn being force sensitive, which is later confirmed he is force sensitive. Like,
yeah. So like,
they allude to
why
it so much.
There?
It's crazy.
It's crazy, and it's dumb, and I feel like it's a little lazy.
It wasn't. They didn't have
I'm not a
Kevin
writer.
Feige.
I don't write. Like I know I don't write. I'm not a writer. But I could have come up with a better story than what they gave us, and I definitely could have come up with a better fucking third movie than what they gave us.
Yeah. They didn't have a Kevin Feige. They didn't have somebody overlooking it and making sure the movies connected. Those movies were so disjointed. They were made individually rather than as a trilogy. Trilogy.
And if it's the same overall studio, they would see how that works having someone in charge.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? Like,
and also,
fucking copy and paste.
You think you saw the way it was done before? Like you have examples of how to do this.
I don't want to end on a down note.
Yeah.
I don't want to end it on a down note. I don't want to.
Positive.
Okay, so thinking of positive, and as you said, how we build better narratives. What do you think this Boba Fett thing is going to be? The Book of Boba Fett. I think that's what they call it.
Like you said,
where do you see that going?
Like you said, I want Mace to show up. I feel like that's a big ask, and it's like it's very. I feel like it's such a big ask that it's probably not going to happen. But it's just there's such a small chance, and I want it to happen. I mean, some old man on some random planet that he runs into. But I feel like Mace Windu wouldn't have sat still for so long. He would be like out there fighting. I don't know, unless he hit his head and they do that amnesia thing. I don't know.
Or maybe he sat still so long because of
the injury?
Because of the hands. Yeah. Because of the injury. Maybe that's how they justify it.
Possible. Because it's like, I don't know how they're going to bring it up, because it's like, I used to, when I was a kid, I used to read a lot of the Star Wars books, and then when I got a teenager, I didn't do it, but I know I watched like YouTube videos about how the past of the Mace Windu character, and he's like supposed to be like the second best Jedi behind Yoda. So like, he a headbuster pretty much. So how they going to justify him sitting out like, the first three movies and then him popping back up or whatever. So they're gonna work some magic. So I guess like how the Mandalorian is between the first three movies and then the last ones that came out, this one probably going to be between episode 3 and episode 4, whatever, like him recuperating and then figuring out his way in life or something.
Yeah, but do you think that leads to technically Boba getting a little revenge for his father?
Here's the thing, though. I feel like Mace Windu, like you said, he was the second best um Jedi in terms of like lightsaber dueling. Because he basically his lightsaber style was to literally basically just completely turn to the dark side the moment he starts fighting. But he had enough control. He had enough control to pull himself back like immediately once he stops.
Because he was a brother. That's why.
Exactly.
So like, and even with other lightsaber, even though it's not canon, it's still said like that he's that good. Like in the Gimme Tartakovsky, the dude that made Samurai Jack, his Star Wars cartoon, the Clone Wars cartoon that he made, Mace Windu in one of the episodes was fighting a bunch of super battle droids with his fist. Because he
I just watched that the other day, literally.
He was fighting them with his fist, and that's actually like the way he would fight in canon if he didn't have a lightsaber. So I feel like
throwing them hands.
If him and Boba Fett fight, it would be dope, but Boba would lose. Unless like Mace Windu was like injured bad enough to make it more equal. I mean, like losing a hand, he would be able to mess him up.
He got no hand.
Like he only lost one, didn't he? Or did he lose both?
He cut both of them bitches off.
Oh, both? Word? I didn't
He lost both hands. He loses both hands.
I think that's actually even more. I think that's even more interesting. If he has no hands and he just fights with the dubs or whatever and the Force, that would actually be dope.
I want to see Force. I want to see Force manipulated by nubs because obviously it can because Anakin doesn't have hands. Like he's manipulating the Force with mechanical things. Like he's not. This is just emotion. He's actually the Force is all up here. Yeah. So I want to see Mace Windu have a fucking lightsaber in his Force hands and fuck a motherfucker up. That's what I want to see.
That's something I wanted to see Yoda do because I don't like seeing Yoda flip around. Instead, I wanted to see him like pick up the lightsaber with the Force and like move it that way. And that's the way.
Yes,
that would have been cool. I feel like there's so much stuff that can be done with the Force that they try not to do for the sake of making it seem overpowered. But I mean, it's the Force. That's what
it's magic.
It's literally magic. You're right. It's literally magic. The Force in the Star Wars universe is literally like God shared a portion of his powers with everybody. Like it's literally everywhere and around everywhere.
You just gotta focus it.
Like who is it? The Night Sisters in Clone Wars? They used the Force, but they used a completely different type of Force. That was some dark magic Force.
But I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't even know if they're gonna even think about bringing Mace Windu back. But it just feels too obvious to not do.
At the very least, I want to see him go to Coruscant.
I just want to see more of Boba Fett in general because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I saw the movies, I thought this whole time they set him up as I knew him as like he's the big badass of the galaxy.
You know how trash that is?
But you never saw him do anything cool.
People set him up.
You just see him throw him down, and it was like, what? Like, fuck.
It was literally, and this is why the Mandalorian exists. It was literally based on that outfit. You were like, oh, somebody dressed like this. Yeah. He gotta be dope, right? Like, look at this outfit. And then he didn't do nothing in the movies but look like a clown and get eaten. Like, fuck. So it took them 40 fucking years, 30 to 40 years to be like, oh, let's make good on this guy in live action, not in the fucking cartoon, which, hey, I love me some cartoons, I love me some animation, but let's make good on him in live action. Yeah. Like, now you're giving me a whole show? He better be motherfucking dope.
I mean, he proved that in these Mandalorian episodes. He's the badass of the galaxy, I guess.
Yeah.
Tamora Morrison enjoyed every moment of that shit too.
Yeah, he was happy. I need to see some because there haven't been many interviews due to COVID, but I need to see some interviews with him about how he feels about being Boba Fett and being back as a clone again in Star Wars.
Man. I know he's got to feel vindicated. Like, look, Boba was always badass. We messed up a little bit back then, but
yeah, the original Boba Fett passed away.
Yeah.
Wasn't that recent?
Justice though.
Yeah, it was recent. It was like a couple days ago.
Right.
Yeah. What'd you say, Shu?
No, I said it did him justice in the show. So, because it seemed like the whole thing was trying to like redeem his character. So he's not necessarily a bad guy. He was just paid to do a job. So that's what he did.
I low-key wonder how the original Boba Fett felt seeing his character be, come back.
Oh, you know he had to be like, thank God.
I'm not sure if he also did the voice. I don't know if it was two separate people, because if it's two separate people, I wonder how both of them felt. But if it was just one, I wonder, they probably were happy when they saw Boba actually be a badass.
The original guy did the voice originally, and then when they did the whole like re-edits after the 3, they had Tamora do the voice, which is just like weird and off-putting.
Yeah, it wouldn't be weird if you could find the original versions, but because
that's what I was gonna say.
To get access to the original version, it's messed up.
I don't know what the deal with the contract is, but if Disney said, "Hey, we are gonna re-release the originals," people would throw money at them.
Yeah,
throw money at them. Like, oh, what? The originals, unchanged? Give me that.
You remember those box sets of like the different? I mean, I guess they still do them. They just haven't done it in a while. But the box sets of the different phases of Marvel that would come with like a item in them that like represented that phase. Like one of them had like the cube in it. One of them had the I could imagine them doing something like that, like re-releasing the original Star Wars movies and having like Luke's lightsaber or something like that in there.
Or a blaster, like what?
Or like Han's blasters, specifically.
I'm there. I'm buying that.
Stormtrooper helmet, something.
Money spent already. Like, all you gotta do is tell me where to get it.
Yeah, of all the lightsabers, the ones that I would like to own replicas of are Ahsoka's lightsabers. The ones that look like samurai handles.
The samurai hilts.
Yeah, those look dope.
Her character design is dope.
Yeah,
her sabers are dope. And which is why I wanted to see more of her.
Yeah, she's literally my favorite Star Wars character.
Really?
Yeah, she's my favorite Star Wars character. I'm excited for that show. And they're I don't know if I want to say that. That might be a spoiler for somebody. I'm gonna just be quiet.
You gotta go back. You were gonna say something about Rebels?
Something like that.
I know where you were going. It's fine. All right, fellas. I feel like we talked up a storm, or 2, or 3. Anybody want to? You want to throw out your plugs for your product?
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Shu Wilson, grooming products, beard products, and coming soon, grooming products. Right now, I'm working on some lip balm, body wash, shampoo, deodorant, all that stuff. So please check it out, grownmanproducts.com. Magnificent Bastard will attest to that. But thank you for having me, sir.
You got something else you working on recently too, I believe?
Yeah, I'm working on Grown in Black clothing. So yeah, that's up too. So if you want to go and check that out, growninblack.com, check out the clothing. And check it out, see if you like it. Thank you, sir.
Dijon, you wanna promote the Mustardcast, please?
Yeah, so I have a podcast called the Mustardcast. It's about the art of storytelling. And and how it's used across different mediums. Those mediums include movies, TV shows, video games, books, and sometimes music. You can follow us. You can subscribe to us on YouTube at the Mustardcast and on social media at the _mustard_cast. No underscores on Twitter, but underscores on Instagram.
Too many underscores, sir. Hey, Zeus, you wanna? Oh wait.
Man, just catch me on future episodes, throwing in my 2 cents here and
there. We will definitely say "Hey Zeus" on this episode is about much more often. I believe we have another bracket coming up. If not, we do have the movie trivia coming up. Are you going to be a part of the movie trivia, sir?
I think it's yeah, I think so.
All right. So
That's
that's when
tomorrow.
y'all catch us again. That's tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll be
That's
there.
tomorrow for us in this timeline, but for you watching, it's
Right.
probably gonna be like
Oh
2 weeks
no, I
away.
might be a little late because I gotta watch that E40 two short verses. So
Oh, that's tomorrow too. Some might get cut short. But thank you guys for your time. I appreciate y'all being on, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.
All right, man.
Peace.